Hey everyone, welcome back to In a Pinch with Hitsu Zen. I'm Hitsu Zen from snuffhouse.com. All names have been changed to protect the innocent. Today we're switching it up a little bit and doing a cigar review. We're reviewing the Jaime Garcia Reserva Especial by My Fathers. The description on the website reads, this brand first made its appearance in New York City during a special event in December 2009. The cigar, which at that time did not have a specific name, was made only in one size for that event. It was so well received that Jaime Garcia decided to incorporate it into the regular production using his own name for the brand. Called after that night, Jaime Garcia Reserva Especial. This medium to full-bodied cigar, made at My Father's, has an oily and dark broadleaf wrapper, which provides an exceptional smoke with an incomparable aroma. It comes in 6 sizes, packaged in natural wood boxes of 20 cigars. So that's the company's description. Oh, good God. And here's mine. This Robusto comes in at 5 1/4 inches with a 52 ring gauge, Nicaraguan filler, Ecuadorian binder, and Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, rumored around the internet to be aged 6 years, although My Father's has not substantiated the claim. The wrapper is dark and oily, nearly invisible seams and no prominent veins to speak of. It sports a triple cap, has a firm pack, and is deceptively heavy for its size. The only flaw I can find is a small crack at the foot. Fingers crossed it's only a wrapper deep and doesn't cause any problems in the overall burn.
Alright, so that was my attempt at a professional-looking collage pictures. Cigar Obsession does it much better than I do. But I did want to try and show you guys a close-up of what this stick looks like. I can't even describe to you. Oh man, the smell's coming off this. So the wrapper is, what I want to say is cocoa. And you hear that a lot when people talk about what a cigar smells like pre-light. You hear cocoa, but this isn't like cocoa. This is like when I was a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, we had the Hershey's hot chocolate mix that came in the metal tin with the round thing on top, and it was unsweetened, yet it had sugar to it, so the tin was actually like cocoa powder. And there's that smell when you opened it, and a little bit of the dust would come up. You know that smell I'm talking about? That's exactly what this wrapper is. So rich. And then the at the foot, again, I want to use another typical word, and the word I'm going to use is leather, but it's not leathery. It's leather. They're both smells I'm familiar with, but I've never smelled either one of them so like pungently. I'll be honest with you, I traditionally have stuck in the range of mild, medium, to maybe medium at best cigars. There haven't been a whole lot of full body cigars that I've tried before that I liked. Although in fairness, I only tried a couple of them and didn't like them, so I didn't try a whole lot more. One of the guys on the boards sent me in a trade, sent me a whole bunch of sticks that were medium full to full. And I'm starting to get converted. This is the third out of the batch that I've smoked, and it's the first one I'm going to review. And yeah, apparently a cigar can be medium full to full without being like a pepper bomb. Ah, that's just amazing. All right, so I'm going to get this stick ready to burn. I'm going to do two things that are controversial, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing them. At the end, it's traditional to clip. I'm going to use the dreaded punch. I'm going to explain why. First of all, aesthetically, I like the rounded cap, and for me, it goes back to watching cartoons when I was a kid, and I don't remember what cartoon it was, but it was some segment on Looney Tunes. There was a character who smoked cigars back in the days when you were allowed to smoke cigars in cartoons, and his weren't clipped; they were just blunt-ended. So aesthetically, for some reason, I enjoy that. Beyond that, functionally, why I choose a punch more often than a clip. But really, the only times I use a clip anymore is if it's got like a torpedo end or something like that. Any blunt or slightly rounded end anymore, I punch. The reason for that being, people put a lot of stock on wrapper. I do not believe, with as much leaf as is in these sticks, that I can actually taste the wrapper in the smoke. I don't believe that. People say they can taste the wrapper in the smoke, and I would love to give someone a blindfold challenge. Uh, Smoke a cigar and tell me what the wrapper is. You're talking about a 50th of the content of the entire cigar, one thin, and they are thin leaf. You can't taste that in the smoke. However, if I leave the cap over the end and just put a punch in it instead of cutting it all away, I can actually swirl my tongue around it as I smoke it, and I can actually taste the wrapper. And uh, the wrappers, the wrappers that are chosen for aesthetic purposes, that are thicker and oilier, um, because they're oilier, there's more flavor on the actual leaf. So if I swirl my tongue around it as I puff, then I can actually legitimately taste the wrapper. So first I'm going to punch it. There we go. All right, clean punch. Yeah, another weird ritual I have is sometimes I'll take the piece I punched out and I'll suck on it. Total tobacco geek, man, I get it. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the wrapper. There's historical and what's the word, for politeness, etiquette reasons, why it used to be really commonplace to remove a band from a cigar. Um, where I'm coming from, the reason that I smoke cigars, the reason I smoke pipes, the reason I use snuff is because I enjoy tobacco. I'm a tobacco geek. I like trying to decipher tobaccos as much as I enjoy sitting back, relaxing, and zoning out while enjoying tobaccos. Um, I go into cigar shops and I watch people, cigar shops lined up from the cheapest cigars on one end to the most expensive at the other, and I see people walk straight to the most expensive, um, because they're smoking for image, they're smoking for prestige. I have found amazing sticks in the expensive section. I've also found completely unsung heroes that blow some of the premium sticks away in the economy section. So I smoke for flavor and enjoyment. I don't smoke for prestige. I take the wrapper off because I'm smoking the tobacco, not the brand. Likewise, in the 19th century up in the early 20th century, it was considered polite for a person smoking a cigar in public to remove the band because some people could afford the more expensive ones. Other people couldn't, and it was considered snobby. Um, you were kind of a dick if you left the wrapper on, the band on. So I take it off. I'm not advertising when I walk around with the stick, and like I said, I'm smoking the tobacco, not the brand. So that's two things I do that are unconventional, and this being my first cigar review video, I thought I'd explain why. So I explained I told you what I get on the wrapper and on the foot. The cold draw, yeah, straight cocoa powder. And I can tell you, even though I can't taste the pepper yet, I know that this is going to be peppery when I first light it. Because that's straight, like, dry cocoa powder. Strangely enough, like I said in the collage, is even the right word for that? The collage segment with the pictures. Like I said there, it feels dense and it feels heavy for its weight. But the draw is actually pretty loose. So I'm hoping that means I didn't let this dry out. I don't know. Let's find out. So, I also have a somewhat ritualized, um, probably less than congenial way that I like to light my cigars. I don't have one of those fancy torches. I did years ago when I was really into cigars. Um, in my early 20s when I had when all my income was disposable and I could afford to smoke cigars all day. I had a really nice Ziegler torch, but nowadays I can't afford them. I tried to get one of those cheapy torches, and the damn thing would get so hot I was sick in my pocket after lighting the cigar, and it'd practically be burning my leg. So now I toast it with the Bic. Slowly and patiently. I love that smell when the tobacco first starts toasting, and it hasn't smoked yet. It actually smells like rye toast. Getting ready to pop out the toaster. Well, now we're starting to smoke a little bit. That might be my favorite aromatic note off a cigar. Actually, is that toasting scent before you actually light it. All right, pretty well toasted, and then light it with a match. There we go. Wow. So as predicted, um, on first light, that is almost a pepper bomb. Um, all the pre-light aromas tell me it's not going to stay that way, so I'm going to sit this one through. But yeah, the first the light on it is pepper and cocoa, like in your face. Like, man, don't retrohale that. All right, so I'm gonna smoke on this. I'm gonna let it get down to the first third, and we'll check back in. All right, so we're about closing out the first third here. Um, as you can see, it burns a little wavy, but not horribly so. Um, as long as you keep rotating the cigar, it actually self-corrects pretty easily. I haven't had to relight anywhere or correct it myself. The ash is well, it appears flaky, um, but it holds like it's dense. I would lay money down if I were a gambler uh, that this will hold to about 2.5 inches before it drops. That's where I put my money. Um, the flavor, all right. So the spiciness I was talking about on the light, like that died off, like by the second or third puff, it was gone. Um, what took its place was cocoa, predominantly cocoa, cream. Nothing sweet to balance that. People have mentioned with this stick that they got molasses or something sweet. I get cocoa and cream, which I dig. It reminds me of brewing like Lavazza in an Italian coffee maker and pouring it over milk without any sugar. That 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 espresso and cream, um, but cocoa, not espresso. I'm totally I'm totally a pro. Um, but yeah, cocoa and cream with cedar and white pepper on the finish, and man, it is a long finish. And when I talk about cedar and pepper, I'm not saying that it's spicy, because because really it's not. It's actually a profile that rounds itself out perfectly if you think about the sequence in which it hits your palate. Cocoa, the cream, then the cedar, then the pepper. Right? Take a draw, get more cocoa, then cream, then cedar, then pepper. If you stop and think about it, it rounds itself out perfectly. Really, really enjoying this stick. Like I said, the finish is long. I if I had the patience for it and wasn't afraid of the cigar going out, I'll bet the finish could go on for 5 or 10 minutes. It sticks on the top of your tongue and kind of in the back of your mouth. The smoke is chewy. The smoke is thick. Um, the smoke coming off the stick right now, the ash is kind of holding it back. I don't know how much the camera can pick up, but it's thin, but it's consistent. But the smoke coming off the draw is heavy, man. I mean, yeah, I'm digging it. So, anyways, I'll check back in with you at the halfway point before doing the second third. Because sometimes there's you have obvious flavor shifts from first third, second third, and then the final third. But there's also more broad flavor evolutions that happen oftentimes between the first half and the second half. So really, there's 5 parts of the cigar to compare. Makes it fun. It's a cool hobby. Um, so yeah, check back in at about the halfway point. Oh, first third was, check the time, 35 minutes. Yeah, 35 minutes in. Slow burner. Yeah, so I'll check in at the halfway point. Alright, guys. We're back getting to the end of the second third here. I said I was gonna stop at the halfway point, and I didn't, and I'm gonna tell you why. There was a dramatic shift in flavor right at the halfway point, and that seems like the time to start the camera, but I couldn't nail down exactly what had changed. It was a drastic change. I couldn't nail it down, and by the time I did, I was well past the half and figured I'd just wait till I was getting to the end of the second third. Um, the sudden change was the flavors didn't change, um, but the order that the flavors hit the palate changed. All right, so if you can follow that, it took like 20 minutes to nail down. Speaking of time, check the time here. 3:48. We are an hour and 27 minutes in. I'll admit I smoke cigars slow, but man, yeah, an hour and a half, and it's a Robusto. Hour and a half, I'm hitting the bottom of the second third. But so what happened? The pepper did drop altogether. But what happens now is first cream, followed by cedar, with cocoa on the finish. And even cedar, I'm not sure if that's the right word to use. It's woody. But cedar usually implies spicy woody, right? Spicy woody. Cedar usually implies that there's spiciness in the woodiness you're experiencing, and there isn't. It's just woodiness. I've never heard pine used to describe a nuance in a cigar. It's the word I'm tempted to use. I work in a factory that processes pine, and we get these 2,000-pound super sacks in of pine, and when you open them up, there's this dry, earthy smell that comes out of the sack, and that's what I get. Cream followed by that with a cocoa finish. It's not spicy. It's woody. Um, um, That's the best I can describe it. I don't know. And every once in a while, I'm getting these weird wisps of what almost reminds me of like clove. But then I go in for another draw to try to identify it, and it's gone. That's happened a couple of times now in the second, third. Now, if I retrohale, now in the retrohale, that's definitely a cedar. I would call that cedar. But yeah, so that was interesting. I've never experienced that before. I've experienced subtle flavor changes. I've experienced complete 180s in flavors, but I've never experienced the flavors staying the same but changing order. So that was kind of cool. So we'll stick with it and see what we got when we get down the note. They've got us locked in the cages, ruined of grace and sense, and the heart roars like a lion at what they've done to us. Alas, 2 hours in, and it's time to draw this party to a close. Going through the final third, flavors didn't really change too much from the second third. Pepper picked up a little bit, but nothing too significant. In the end, is this a complex cigar? No, it's not a complex cigar. But it is a highly enjoyable cigar. Sorry, my mouth's starting to go numb. It's really cold out here. It's a really enjoyable cigar. I would buy it. Well, I didn't buy it the first time, but I would buy it again had I bought it the first time. Really made out great on this trade. Not gonna call you out, but if you're watching, you know who you are. Thank you so much for sending me this. Got loads more I want to review. You guys let me know if you like this. Let me know in the comments or in my email at the bottom, boxandpipe@gmail.com. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments or in my email. Let me know what I can change. This has been fun. I've really been looking forward to doing a cigar review. I hope to do loads more. Yeah, in the end, the Jaime Garcia Reserva Especial by my fathers. Great stick. I think they retail for about $6.50. Puts them about in the mid range. Well worth the money. Again, it's not a complex stick, but it's a really enjoyable stick. And if you go read other reviews, other people get different things out of it. You know, your experience might be different than mine. Your palate might be different than mine. The burn overall was good, wavy, but it self-corrected pretty quick. One thing I didn't mention, towards the end of the first third, when the ash started getting thicker, it actually almost went out at one point, and that's how the ash fell. I still think I would have made the 2.5 inch marker I had predicted, but at about the 2 inch at about the 2 inch point, I started drawing really hard on it, trying to get it going again without having to actually relight it, and the ash tapped off. But since then, it burned fine. Like I said, 2 hours in. If I really wanted to, I'm sure I could go another 20 minutes on it, but I've had my fill for the evening. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what I can do to improve this channel. Have a great night. Salud.